Hello, welcome to this very special edition of the Pace Report. I'm Brian Pace, reporting live here at the City Winery here in New York City. Bobby Womack has been one of the most prolific African-American songwriters, writing about the African-American experience with such hit classics like Across 110th Street to The Woman's Gotta Have It, I Wish You Wouldn't Trust Me So Much, I'm in Love. But he's also been part of the music industry for well over 50 years. He was part of his brother's group called the Valentinos, which were the Womack brothers, as well as he was one of the most in-demand session guitarists during the 1960s, playing with the greats of King Curtis, Aretha Franklin, Wilson Pickett. In addition to that, his songs really reflect a lot of the African-American experience. We sat down earlier and we talked about his career growing up in Cleveland. We talked about the importance of writing songs that mean something that people can really relate to. And we also talked about his illustrious career throughout his 50 years in the record industry. So sit back, relax, enjoy the sounds of Mr. Bobby Womack, live here at the City Winery, here on the Pace Report here in New York City. Bobby Womack, I am so glad that after 18 years, you've decided to come out and continue to bring out, one, quality soul music, but two, your message.
It's always been about the message, you know. If you can't tell people something, you know, most times they'll listen. But I think about songs that I'd go back on that never go out of style. A Woman Gotta Have It, songs like that. I mean, the woman still gotta have it, you know. She'll give it to somebody else. You know what I mean? If you think you're lonely now, if you're lonely in the daytime, you know you're gonna catch hell at night. You know what I mean? So I'm always one to deliver a message because I feel that I'm a chosen and blessed to be able to walk on the stage and put everybody on one page. Spiritually, there's nothing like it. That's better than the pay because I felt that I'm doing the job that God has permitted me to do. And I still care about music just as much. I will be the first to admit that I'm a little slower is because I was real sick, and my ex-wife don't like me to talk about it because she says, you know, people think then you're not gonna show. And I said, no, they'll think Sly might not show, but I always show. You know, this is what I do. This is what my whole life is about. You know, so I feel blessed every time I can walk on stage and perform. It's very, very special. It's to a point that when I come off, I started feeling that I can't take the whole audience with me. But when I come off, I got to be able to go into my corner and feel that I'm worthy off stage than just always on. Because people think they know you through the songs you sing. But to really get to know me, is when I'm on stage.
Let's talk about The Bravest Man in the Universe. 18 years, and these are 12 tracks produced by Damon Albarn, who is of Gorillaz. How did he get you out?
I tell you what, I was impressed. It's because my daughter was very impressed about Gorilla. So she comes in one day, and I'm listening to Gorilla because they had sent some tapes over so I could hear them, because first I'd never heard of them. It's because I've always been a person that had my own destiny, and I don't listen to people. I don't listen to the radio, so I don't know what's going on. So when I got out of the business, I got out of the business because I knew there was a better life for me, and I wanted to change my ways. I was living the fast lane. I couldn't get off the drugs, all of that stuff. I was in it, and I wanted to go back to when I was a little boy singing gospel. I said I didn't need none of that, booze, none of that to pick me up, to make me go. I said it was just a natural feeling. So I didn't know if I could make it, but I shot for it. And things started to come together. I started getting people around me that were the right kind of people, and which is inspiring. It's the same with Damon. When I ran into Damon, he says, "Man, let's go on this tour." I said, "Oh man, I'm telling you, I don't know." He said, "Oh, Bobby, you got to go on this tour." Then the next thing after the tour, he was talking about recording. So I was still making the excuse about, man, I don't know what they're doing today. People not recording like they used to. I said, I'm from the old school. I can't cut electric tracks and all of this. And he said, Bobby, your voice is so dominant. People not going to pay attention to what's behind you. They're going to pay attention to what's in front of you. And it made sense. He said, your voice is different, and it's one of a kind. People know it. So we started working, and what he was doing was giving me. Because I said, that sounds like something I could do. He said, that's why we want you to cut it. But at the same time, he said, we want you to write what you think. And so to write like that, I never worked like that. I just says, I would take it home for a couple of weeks, start on it again, write it 3 or 4 different ways. And he just says, man, the first thought come in your mind, let it roll. So I had a lot to be thankful, because being around Damon and Richard Russell, it was like there was no drugs flying. Everybody was serious about the music. And I said, damn, I can work here. It's because I had said if I saw anything negative, I'm gone. Because I pushed a lot of time in staying away from people that didn't want you around if you wasn't doing what you used to do. They just felt guilty. And so I feel that with that, I wrote a lot of songs from the travel with Gorillaz. And so right now I don't know which way to go, but I know it's Bobby Womack. And it's always been the right way to go for me, and I will continue on.
Do you remember? To the easy fellas, this is a small place. was the third brother of five, doing whatever I had to do to survive. I'm not saying what I did was alright. Trying to break out of the ghetto was a day-to-day fight. Being down so long, getting nothing across my mind. But if there was a better way of life, and I was just trying to find. You don't know what you do until you put under pressure. Across 110th Street is a hell of a tester. Y'all think? Across 110th Street, do you remember?
You know, I was listening to some of your music in the new album for the last couple of days, and I noticed that you, Donnie, Stevie, Gil Scott-Heron, you got a lot of black people through a lot of turbulent times in the late 60s and the 70s through what you were talking about. What do you think has happened to the art of songwriting? Now, it seems like today these artists now are getting more raunchier, and they're not. There's a lack of substance in what they're talking about.
Well, they haven't played the dudes, and they haven't watched the black movement and people mature, and people let them mature. You know, it's been a big, big change. You know, I go back to traveling with Sam Cooke. He lived in a mansion. But when he go on the road, he said he would stay in a motel because that's the only place they would let him stay. He couldn't stay at a hotel. And I can't believe that when I say, I was playing guitar for one. It was whites on one side, blacks on the other. Now, that was the law. But now, people wasn't into that. They just wanted to get together and have fun. And people didn't like that because that was a threat. I mean, the system didn't like it because it was a threat. But if it wasn't for music, we wouldn't have a black president. You know, and I say that they're criticizing Obama for whatever. I say, hey, man, they messed it up. They had 30 to 40 presidents, and all they did was made themselves rich. So when we come along, knee deep in shit, you know, I said, man, it's your turn. It's your turn. And I say, hey, the man has done a hell of a job, but he had a whole lot of cleaning up to do.
Got that right.
You know, and so I don't even think he knew how much cleaning he had to do.
He's still cleaning.
He's still cleaning. So you can't create new shit when the old shit is so full, you know. And so, you know, I don't know. I know one thing. People got to the point that they said the bullshit's got to stop, you know. And they still got the TV. They still got radio. They got everything that's got a voice in it they control. So they can make you look however they want to make you look. And believe it or not, people read the paper. Whatever they read is true. You know, it ain't like that, you know. Getting back to music, I remember seeing whites and blacks work together and make things happen and never looked at the colors, you know. And I say, today, everybody want to be like that, you know. So I know I've seen it. I know Stevie Wonder's seen it, you know, and a lot of other artists have seen the change, you know. I remember years ago, Sam Cooke was calling me, trying to find me for a song that he wanted to go in and record called "The Change Is Gonna Come." And that's been 50 years ago. And he was so right, and he kept saying, what do you think of this song? I told him, I said, this song feels like death. He said, feel like death? He said, well, I never released it, you know. And we laughed about it. He said, Bobby, he says, I say, know what I mean by that? I say, this song is going to get everybody's attention. You know, I said, you can sing another Saturday night and I ain't got nobody. I got some money and I got a, that's lightweight. That's, you can, if you want to deal with fantasies, okay. But when it came down to that song, I say, people have to be realistic and say, this is true. And today, when I was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, everybody was going to ask me, who's going to write your liner notes? Who's going to write for you? I said, who could write for me? I said, they all dead. I said, I'm still living, so I write for myself, you know. And the first thing that I said, I say, I want all the soul singers to know that we finally have a black president and a change has come. You know what I mean? As Sam said it many years ago, today it speaks for itself. So one thing I can say is not jumping conversations, but united we stand, divided we fall.
Because your songs really reflect everything about black experience. I mean, across 110th Street to, you know, if you think you learn that.
That song, Across 110th Street, was written because when they gave it to me, I said, man, that was about a movie. And I said, I could write about that. I said, because at every city we ever played, I said, we can always have a ghetto. I said, if you want to look where it's at. So when I wrote that song, I said, we'll never go out of style. It's because you're going to always hear and I can relate to it. I said, they got the front with the hotels, and I said, you go behind that and you see people the way they really have to live, you know.
Now that I think I'm able, I think I'm gonna carry on. It's been enough. Am I telling the truth? Lord, change gonna come. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I have to reach back and see if I still can do it. You know, if y'all feel like, because you're down right there, if y'all feel like you want to stand up and hold somebody real close, I don't mind, I don't mind. Oh, I don't mind. Can I keep on? Can I keep on going? And I'm mighty proud to say that I got my daughter here tonight. They call her Mary. Oh, would you like to hear? Oh, the angel come.
Oh, yes it has. It's been too hard living. I'm afraid
I wanted to ask you something because you did come from the gospel vein. You grew up gospel with your brothers. I want to ask you about Archie Brownlee.
Oh man,
He was one of your.
I loved Archie Brownlee. He had a golden voice. He was an original singer. And I remember as a little boy, every time he would come to town, he was staying at the Carnegie Hotel. And my mother allowed me to walk up to see him because I just looked up to him. I looked up to a lot of gospel singers, but Archie was special. It's because he was so magical when he hit the stage. It was always, if there was anything else spiritual, he left it for the next artist, you know. But he was awesome. And I took screams from him, and he said, let nature take its course. He said, don't rush it. You're young. You don't want to ruin your voice, you know. And so to the day, I even think of him, and I say, boy, guy's awesome. Clarence Fountain was another one because you had two sets. You had Archie Brownlee and the Five Blind Boys, and you had Clarence Fountain and the Five Blind Boys, and they both was awesome. You know, so when I look back at the people that I wanted to be like, it ain't no artist out there standing that you have to even worry about. You know, I just do what I do, and I stick to my guns. As far as when I walk on stage, it's from here. See, like everybody can be a soul singer. You know, it don't matter, green, black, red, white. You know, just got to know what your soul is. Most people think they got to sound like Sam Cooke. They can't sound like Sam Cooke. You know, or they want to sound like Ray Charles. They can't sound like Ray Charles. But one thing I like about Mick Jagger is Mick Jagger.
You got that right.
You know, and when I look and see 60,000 people going crazy, I say, these people relate to Mick Jagger, his sound, and what he's about. And it's now national all over the world. He's never changed, you know. So things like that I respect. You know, I respect groups like The Who. You know, when they was on the set, they was on the set, you know. And my whole thing today is what it was when I started. I got to be me. Even though I'm impressed by a lot of people that I admire, I could never be them. But I can put some of them into me, and everybody think I'm original. That's cool enough for me, you know.
Well, you know, this is a true story. Is it all right if I talk about this woman that's mine, that was mine? Is it all right if I talk? Tell me about the bad little girl, man, Scott. Tell me about the girl that if you think you're
That'll do it again for this very special edition of the Pace Report, reporting live here at the City Winery here in New York City. I'd like to personally thank Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Bobby Womack for his time, as well as the staff and management here at the City Winery here in New York City. As always, please visit my website, www.thepacereport.com, for my weekly column as well as my past segments. Until next time, remember, if it's in the groove, it'll make you move. Till next time, peace.
Take it on. Do the thing to keep a smile, baby. Say the thing to make you feel better every day. And you got to stay on your feet and do. 'Cause if you don't,